Welcome to the Dylan Hildreth Show. I'm Dylan Hildreth. Let's get into the news, shall we? So, the Kremlin has confirmed that Putin has given an interview to Tucker Carlson. What has been interesting about this is not so much that this is actually happening, but the reaction of the left. I always look at the reactions to see what the biggest fear is. Like, take the 2020 election for an example. We had questions about the election after it happened. And the left was like, oh, you're an election denier, you traitor, you're a bad person. Where in 2016, when the left was saying the election was rigged, Russian interference. And the right was just like, okay, let's go take a look. And the thing is, you always look at the reactions. And when I see people like Brooklyn Dad or JoJo from Jers go absolute ape crap over Tucker going to Moscow to interview Putin, Jesus, learn to talk. Interview Putin. I get a whole lot more interested in something I normally wouldn't have been interested in, simply because they are completely over the top nuts over this. Now, and I've been thinking about this the last couple days, which is one of the reasons why I haven't came out and really said too much about it. Just that I find it funny that the left's all losing their minds about it. But if Vladimir Putin can say a few things that would completely and totally undermine everything with the Democrats and Joe Biden and Ukraine. If Putin comes out and says, we actually had no intention of going towards Kyiv, we just wanted to get to that highway there so we can get more access to to Crimea. To something like that, or even your Western media just completely lied entirely. We weren't the first ones to strike. They're a bunch of crap. It was Ukraine that came after us. Or even something like, we were just going to take Ukraine. We're not dumb enough to go after NATO. I mean, come on now. And quite frankly, if you look at what Russia sent, they weren't going all the way through to Poland. It looked maybe enough to, at least in their minds, to take Ukraine, if that, but not enough to completely and totally take over Poland and be like they're ready to start a whole World War III. That never looked like it. But nonetheless, what I really find interesting is, why is the left so afraid of normal journalism? And not just the left, but Vladimir Zelensky as well. Zelensky, I don't know if it's in this article, but Vladimir Zelensky has pretty much said that Tucker Carlson is an enemy of Ukraine just for simply interviewing Putin. So, we already know there's corruption between Ukraine and Biden. So what else is there? What does Putin know that has the left all worked up? Now, obviously, 99.9% of the left doesn't know why they're riled up or what they need to defend, but they are still scared crapless nonetheless. What does Putin know? Does Tucker ask the right questions? Sometimes he'll get soft, or even in this particular case, he may be playing him more on the soft side because going into a country with an evil dictator. You ask the wrong question, you're going to end up in the basement of the Kremlin. And, yeah, that's not where you want to be. So I'm really interested to see how much Tucker goes after Putin and what kind of interviews this actually ends up being. From what I've heard, it will be coming out Thursday, February 8th on Tucker's website and on X. So I am going to be all over that. So hopefully it's an interesting one. Now, House Republicans fail to impeach Mayorkas. This has got to be one of the most embarrassing things that's happened already so far in 2024 for Republicans, is not being able to impeach a guy who has been a part of facilitating human, child, arms, and drug trafficking across the southern border. There's enough evidence. There's videos all over the place. And you have 4 Republicans. One of them was just going the other way just to... I think it was... Blake Moore flipped to a no vote, so the Republicans could get a second chance. But Ken Buck, Tom McClintock, and Mike Gallagher, when you toe the line and try to stay by the letter of the law, this is what happens. This is what ends up happening. In order to defeat evil, you must become evil and be eviler. Because if you are good going into evil, you can pull yourself back. And mainly because we are the good guys here. We are trying to stop human, child, drug, and arms trafficking across the border. We are trying to stop horrible things happening to people via the cartels. And sometimes you just gotta go with the rest of the crowd, impeach them, even though there isn't any high crimes and misdemeanors in the articles of impeachment. That's what happens with the left. That is why they are able to impeach Donald Trump twice for nothing. That is why they are able to indict Donald Trump on 91 counts of crap. Because that's what those are. Crap. Bull. Made up. Pulled directly out of thin air. Because they go in lockstep, whether it is right or wrong. And it is... And I get you want to do it the right way. I do. But, again, you try doing things the right way, well, the left's going to come back and burn it all down. So, you got to color outside the lines in the most legal way possible to get to your result. And if that means impeaching somebody, even though there isn't any high crimes or misdemeanors, you impeach them. And then we have the whole border deal. This article by Chris Bertman of SCNR. DeSantis refers to the bipartisan Senate border bill as a farce. Absolutely correct. The border deal was set to allow 5,000 100,000 illegal immigrants in before shutting the border, or at least making them go to ports of entry. And that's only for Mexicans and Canadians, because if they're not attached to the United States, it won't count. And it is just an absolute crap sandwich on top of a crap sandwich on top of a crap sandwich. And the Oklahoma Senator James Langford and Mitch McConnell were the ones negotiating this deal for the right. And both these guys need to be primaried, thrown out, because this bill was absolutely unacceptable. This was to codify catch and release, and to pretty much sabotage Trump when he goes back into office in November. And that's what this bill is really setting up for. Because this bill would have pretty much put Trump's border wall on ice for a minimum of 2 years in his 4-year term. And that is if he were to start right on day one, which he said he would. This was a full-blown attempt to sabotage Trump once again before he even gets to the White House this time. And the left is fully willing, ready, and able to ruin every one of their constituents' lives for political power, and to lie to them, and to continue on with this whole charade that they are representing the people of which they are supposed to represent. Ilhan Omar has made it very clear. She does not represent people in her district. She represents Somalia, where she got freaky with her brother. Anyway. Back to this bill. It was like letting 5,000 people in that are only from Mexico or Canada, the bordering countries. If they came from China or Pakistan or Venezuela, it doesn't count against that 5,000. And all the other, there was not a single clause in that bill that would have actually done anything to stop this. And we all know if there was no way in hell Biden was actually going to enforce it, because we already have laws on the books that all Joe Biden has to do is enforce them, and this border issue is solved, and yet he will not do this. This is a complete dog and pony show as an attempt to blame Republicans. That is all this is. And incredible. You're willing to ruin millions of lives for a little bit of power and to continue to destroy the country. Speaking of destroying the country, this appellate court judge has, this 3-judge panel just opened Pandora's box, and they're not even smart enough to realize it. Trump was denied presidential immunity for his time in the White House. This opened up Pandora's box. Now, the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, can go after Joe Biden for facilitating illegal human, child, drug, and arms trafficking across the southern border. He can go after Mayorkas for this. An AG who's actually willing to do his job can go after Barack Obama for murder of an American citizen from a drone strike, because he was very trigger happy on those. But this bill, or this ruling, This completely opened Pandora's box. And now, because this 3-judge panel, who didn't have the balls to say that he's got to be impeached, you already impeached him, he was acquitted. There is nothing more we can do. Presidential immunity stands. These 3 judges didn't have the balls to actually follow the law. They didn't have the balls to actually do it. Grow a spine. This is what happens when you have weak people in very powerful positions. They bend the knee to the left. And they sit there and do whatever the left bids. Look at the judge from E. Jean Carroll's case. Would not allow any sort of defense for Donald Trump because he's Donald Trump. The corrupt judges, and we have now left the land of law and order and due process to now, if you're a political prisoner, pray to God it's in your party's district that you're getting charged, because that's going to determine it. We are now a country looking for blood and throwing our political opponents in prison. And this is not a safe place to go. And you can thank Joe Biden for that. He is the one that started this. And hopefully, Donald Trump, when he goes into office, finishes this once and for all. So, Ronna McDaniels assures RNC members she's hard at work after questioning about her future. She is stepping down. She is stepping down. Thank God. Finally. She is the worst RNC chair board member we have ever seen in our lives. How in the world she had no backbone to Donald Trump, let him run through, do whatever he wanted. You need she even changed her name for Donald Trump because Mitt Romney is her uncle. It used to be Ronna Romney McDaniel. Well, obviously, Trump doesn't like Mitt Romney. So Ronna dumped that part of her name. And does every single thing he wants, even at the cost of the Senate and of a huge red wave that should have came in 22. Because if we would have been able to get to 51, 52, or even 53 in the Senate, come 2024, we'd be able to get to that supermajority and ram through whatever the hell we wanted. But because the red wave ended in Florida, now we're still fighting to keep our head above water. So, goodbye. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Ronna. And, of course, we go, the rules for thee, but not for me. Joe Biden will not be charged in the classified documents probe. And this is a surprise to absolutely nobody, because Joe Biden is a Democrat, and Democrats can do whatever they want and get away with it. Because this is America. That's how this works. And quite frankly, it is the right decision. He shouldn't have been charged, technically. Neither should have Hillary, neither should Trump. But yet, here we are. We have technically 4 if you want to include Pence. But of the major players, Hillary, Biden, Trump, all had classified documents. Only one of them has a presidential immunity claim. That's Donald Trump. Biden has documents dating back to the 70s. Hillary Clinton was never president. Riddle me that one. If anybody has that pass of being able to take classified documents home, it's Donald Trump. And the other thing, Hillary Clinton had her hers on her laptop on a private server that can be easily hacked, and was most like, and by all reports, it was. Joe Biden had a stack of papers in his garage next to the Corvette with his crack-addled son and a lot of foreign leaders running around. Donald Trump had love notes from Kim Jong-un, Rocket Man, hidden away in the closet. So it's a two-tiered system of justice, and that's what's going to end. That's what's going to be the end of this republic, and that's what this country is: a republic, a constitutional republic. This isn't a democracy. Figured I'd make that one freaking clear, since none of the Democrats realize what the we're in. So, anywho, moving on. Gina Carano suing Disney with help from Elon Musk. Oh boy. Elon versus the mouse. Woo-hoo. Talk about your heavyweight fight. I hope Gina gets every freaking thing she wants. Now, I believe that Gina Carano wants like $75,000 in punitive damage, and she wants her rollback from The Mandalorian. That's what I've heard, and rightfully so. She was good in she was good in the Mandalorian. I do like Sasha Banks' character, in that, but nonetheless, Gina Carano suing Disney. Now, obviously, Disney, the wokiest of the wokest. They here are the inclusion standards. Standard A: on-screen representation. At least 3 of the following 5 areas must need to be must need to be met to fulfill Standard A. Characters 50% or more regular and recurring written characters come from underrepresented groups. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm just kind of skimming through here to see like some crazy creative leadership. Yeah, it's all 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%. Yeah, this whole thing is nuts. It's like 50% have to be a certain color. This is racism. This is racism right here. Like, you are no longer judging people off their merit. You are judging people off the color of their skin. Period. Whether they're competent or not. And this is why nobody watches Disney anymore. This is why Disney is losing billions and billions of dollars each and every single year. And I do like the libs of TikTok's tweet. Elon, can you buy Disney and fix it? This guy, he got Elon. Hey! He's thinking about it. Good Lord, if he bought Disney. Oh my goodness. But yeah. So Disney is being sued by Gina Carano. I believe Roseanne Barr is gonna try to get in on this, and it may end up being a whole class action lawsuit. I am all for that. I hope for the best. I hope we are able to completely and totally hold cock Disney and take down the woke mouse. That way, we can get our childhood back. Because that's what Disney has done with this whole going woke bullcrap. Having Snow White and the 7 weird diverse character, whatever. Like this all this DEI stuff is it's not it's not fair to anyone involved. The movies have been crap. You haven't turned a profit in years. You've ruined Marvel. Destroyed Marvel. Destroyed Star Wars. How much more of people's childhood is Disney willing to wreck in the name of this woke ideology? Like, my goodness. Anyway, I believe that is all that I have for you today. So, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe, follow, however you are listening to this. Make sure to push all of the all of the things that you need to push this video up. We are on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. Yeah. YouTube, Rumble. Yeah, we're on those. So make sure to hit the follow button, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.